How would your life change? How would your voiceover business change for the better if you had instant access to the answers to your most important and most burning questions that pertain to your voiceover business and developing your voiceover career? Well, it's here. I'll tell you more about it next. How are you doing? Bill DeWeese here from voice-over-training.org. I often think back to the early days of my voiceover career and the frustration and, well, just the time, the extensive amount of time spent researching and looking up, trying to find answers to my questions, and oftentimes just experimenting because I didn't know or couldn't find the information that I needed. And I've always thought, wouldn't it be cool if there was a resource that you could just turn to? You have a question, you have an issue, something you need an answer to that you could quickly just turn to get that answer, some reliable information that you could use so that you could just move forward with doing the things that you need to get done in your day-to-day business, and those, as well as the bigger issues in developing your voiceover career. Well, about a year ago, after recording my 100th, yes, count them, 100. Actually, I think there's around 140 or 50 now video tutorials here on YouTube. I wanted to celebrate by doing something kind of special. So I solicited you and asked for your most burning voiceover questions. I compiled those along with the many other. I receive hundreds of questions a month. And so I sifted through all of that material, the questions that kept coming up again and again, and the things that seemed to be the most pressing. And I organized them. And over this past year, I've been recording answers to those questions. It's taken me a little while to get it together. Right now, it's actually about 10 hours of video in total answering those 100 questions. And they are now available for you at the website 100voquestions.com. And I invite you to go there and to check it out. Not quite yet. I've got a sample for you. Actually, I have an answer to one of those questions I want to play for you so you can have a better idea of what it is. But when you go to the website, you don't have to guess as to what's on there because all 100 questions are listed on the website so you know, and it's by category. So it's indexed so that you can quickly find it. If you need something regarding performance or marketing or general business or industry or technical, it's all indexed in that way as well so you can quickly access the information that you need. Now, one of the cool things about this is also that it's going to continue to grow. So that as you use this tool and you have additional questions or issues that come up, you can email those to me, and then as I'm able, I will add to that body of knowledge. So it's a pretty comprehensive body of knowledge to begin with, but this library of information will continue to grow. But hey, I've talked about it enough already. I'm excited to share with you a sample from 100voquestions.com. So take a listen, watch, check it out, see what you think, and then check out 100voquestions.com. Thanks. And the next question is it best to work off of hard copy or a computer monitor in reading scripts? Well, I personally prefer a computer monitor. I've used computer monitor really exclusively, as I think about it, in my entire career, with the few exceptions of when I've worked in another studio, in which case they've provided me with hard copy. I always work off of a computer monitor, and there are a couple of reasons why I like it, and I think you should consider it as well. Number one, it's good for the environment. I mean, you certainly kill less trees. I figure over these past 8 years, I've probably saved several small forests by using exclusively, computer screen to read my copy. Also, it's really easy to manipulate and work with the copy. One thing that you can easily do is adjust the size of the screen or the font, or the size of the document and the font. One little strategy that I found to work very well for me is that if I make the copy as small as possible, but while still being able to clearly see and read it, it ends up resulting in me making fewer mistakes because I can see I don't have to move as much back and forth to read the copy. So by using that strategy, which I can easily do with a computer monitor, it allows me to read more effectively and efficiently, which allows me to be more profitable, spending less time doing the work. The other thing is it's really, as I mentioned, easier to manipulate the screen. So in other words, if I'm in a session, maybe an ISDN or a phone patch session, and the producer or the client says, hey, we need to make a small copy change, I can make the change right there on screen without having to mark up and write in something else. It just makes for a little more uniform and easy to read script that way. Also, it's easy to mark up your script. If you're using traditional paper, no big deal. You use a pencil or a pen and you can mark up as well. But it's just as easy, if not easier, to use if you're working with a PDF document or a Microsoft Word document. You can easily go in and highlight, use different colors. When a client says, let's put a little pause here, I like to go in and I can either create my own comma or just put a ... which I can do, which creates separation between the two so that physically I see separation, which if I have a pencil or pen and hard copy, I cannot do. Now, if you decide to go in that direction to help to, have less of a negative impact on the environment so that you can more easily and quickly manipulate copy on the screen, make sure that you get a mouse that has a silent scroll wheel, because with hard copy, you're turning pages. If it's longer form, say narration, so there's obviously noise that comes along with that. If you're using a silent mouse, that's another advantage. You can just use your scroll wheel to scroll through the copy silently without ever turning a page, without ever interrupting the flow of what you're doing. I went to Staples and found a nice Microsoft mouse. I just experimented. I went through until I found a mouse. If you listen here, it's a completely silent scroll wheel. So as I'm doing my work, I just scroll through the copy like that. It's easy. Again, it's very efficient. And best of all, it's quiet, doesn't create any extra editing work for me on the back end. So for those reasons, I prefer a computer screen. Obviously, you work with whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, but it's certainly at least worth giving a shot.